What's up, fam? Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there. Today we are taking a look at some awesome blades from channel sponsor North Mountain Blades. They did send these in for us to take a look at, and I am truly grateful for that. We do have 3 knives to look at today. These are the Chop 2 models, as you can tell in the description. We got 3 different variants, 2 of which are available. The other is a prototype, and unfortunately will likely not come to market. However, I did want to show you guys just because they were kind enough to send it for my wife, Jaleesa, and I really can't thank them enough. So with that being said, as always, you guys know I am going to be 100% unbiased and honest with my review and everything we talk about here today. So we're going to talk about any good, any bad, everything in between. But let's go ahead and start off. So I'm going to pull this one off here, and we're going to start with the one that I'm actually going to be keeping with the collection. This is the standard Chop 2 and the green G10. So these knives are in the budget banger category. They have a couple of different variants, all of which are under $100. Now they do have some more dressed up versions that are in Thai and Moku Thai and Thai Mascus or whatever. I'll show you some pictures of those here, but those are of course more expensive, but their standard Chop 2 is in the budget category. But let's go ahead and jump right on in here. Taking a look at some really nice textured G10. It is a standard texture. It's nothing out of the ordinary, but it is well done nonetheless. You do have some really nice chamfering. It almost allows it to feel contoured, but there is a flat panel there, so it isn't quite a contoured scale. And then you have the dished pivot here. Really nice color on the hardware and everything. It's kind of like a gunmetal gray coloration on the hardware. So you do not have any lefty love, no lanyard love, but you do have flipper only. Jimping on the flipper, the jimping itself is nice. However, you're not very functional because of the location. You don't really feel that jimping, but the flipper still works well anyway. Again, you have that dished pivot here on the backside. A really functional pocket clip that, it just works really, really well. It is not deep carry, which again, no big deal. You do have some nice area there to grab and yank this thing right out of your pocket. And then you do have a brass backspacer, which gives some added weight to the back of the knife. Again, a very nice added feature. Taking a look at the blade here, we are looking at a Sanmai SLD Magic blade. So this is a compound grind. You do have a hollow here and flat here. More of a traditional Tonto look. It's not your straight cut American Tonto. It is more of a honestly more of a kind of a mash between the two, but it definitely leans more towards that, that standard Tonto. Taking a look at the finish on the blade, we are looking at what they call a 3 gradient finish. You can see it really well here, where you have the nice polish towards the edge, and then it kind of goes slowly into that, kind of a tumbled appearance there on the rest of the blade towards the spine. Jimping on the back is extremely functional. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. And then your branding on the other side. Blade looks to be ground very well. The plunge grind is a little on the late side, but you do still have plenty of room for sharpening. I don't think you're going to have any issues there. Taking a look here at this one. The tip looks like it might be a little off yet. So we do have just a little off on that tip. Not terrible. We've definitely seen better. We've definitely seen worse. But it doesn't really affect the performance. But you can see we just have a little bit of a more shallow grind here on that tip. Otherwise, let's go ahead and take a look at the knife in general. So the knife and hole, this is a very, very, very well-built, well-made blade, especially for that under $100 price point. Now it is a lighter blade retention on the button lock, as you can see there. Now it does work without really any issues, but it is something where you can fail it. It works kind of better with a more of a light switch flipper action than it does with a push button. However, you can do them both. If you stage that push button, you can typically get it to come out there, but like I said, it does work best with the light switch. Now you can adjust that a little bit, stretching that spring, you know, maybe even changing out springs, whatnot. But it does, that is something again to note, that the blade retention on this particular one is a little lighter. The other two that I have are a little better in that department. So this one probably will just get a little bit of a string stretch and probably be just fine. T8 hardware all the way around. Fantastic ergonomics. This knife is a workhorse. This thing is ready to put in work. The balance on it is very well done because of that really nice heavy backspacer there. It does have really good balance. So the jimping here is phenomenal. Locks you in very, very well. The SLD Magic blade, you're looking at 60 to 61. So really nice tolerances there, and it is a really solid heat treat. Now the patterning that is on the blade itself, it is not like a laser engraved pattern or anything like this. This is actually a patented hot forging treatment that they use that gets you that pattern, and then they do the hand polishing, I believe, to get that gradient, if I am not mistaken on that. A little bit of spec on it. You're looking at 3.5 inch overall, or excuse me, 3.5 inch blade, 8 inches overall. Kind of that sweet spot for a full-sized EDC blade. Nice thinner handles, really, again, just really ergonomic. Pocket clip, you don't feel it at all. It's really well done. I love a broader pocket clip like that. It gives you a little more area for retention in the pocket. I really want to get one of the Chop 1s or the Chop 3. They just released the Chop 3 as well. As you guys know, I am more of a traditional lock person, so I like the liner locks, the bolster locks, things like that. So a good button lock is fine. I do enjoy a good button lock, especially for fidget factor. It's just I find myself reaching for a standard lock more often. Apologize for the jump cut there. We had some noise in the house. I needed to take a look at, figure out what was going on. But as I was saying, you know, you guys know I am a little more apt to the standard locks. However, these are done pretty doggone well. Haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. Now, I will show you guys a little something here. So they are built, again, talking about the build quality on these knives. We'll go ahead and open one up here because they have a what I want to call like a chassis system in here, and you do have to remove the pocket clip completely. So we'll go ahead and do that here, and then like I said, it is all T8 hardware. Now I will mention one thing: the on this specific knife from the factory, the pivot screw was kind of overly Loctited, so I did end up rounding off the screw in here. That being said, customer service with these guys was fantastic. They took care of the issue, no issues there. But here we are looking at, like I said, that chassis system. So it is, once you take that scale off, you do see here your liner is actually screwed in to that brass backspacer, which gives this knife, like I said, it gives it a really nice heavier feel, but also gives it some extreme stability. Now I am going to go ahead and see if I can't just kind of give this a little more pressure on that spring. Since I have it apart, might as well. And then we are going to go ahead and slap this thing back together. Now I'll go ahead and show you guys the other two variants that they sent in. Now one of these variants will be given away in an upcoming giveaway. We're going to do a full EDC giveaway, and figure it's been long enough. It's time for me to give back to my subscribers, so be on the lookout for that. There'll be an announcement and a video for you guys to comment on, and then it'll be given away on a live stream. So again, just be on the lookout for that coming up very, very soon. But let's go ahead and make sure I've got this all squared away. I found that with these particular knives, what I like to do on the pivot, just for folks that are like me and like them the same way, is you just tighten the pivot down until it bottoms out, and then just barely break that screw back open. And well, let's try that again. Okay, you tighten it up and just barely break that screw back open, and It's just about right. Let's just went a little too far. Go. There we go. So no bounce out really. Yeah, that'll work. We got just a little bit stronger detent now. Well, you know, detent. Yeah, so really cool. Really enjoy this knife. Let's go ahead and crack on to the other one here. Now this is a full copper variant. Now I'm showing you how this came because I honestly don't know if this is how all of the copper variants come, but it did come with a T8 bit, and then also came with a pocket clip filler tab. So if you decide you don't want the pocket clip, you can remove that and have the filler tab. But here is the copper version, and it is like a distressed copper. I absolutely love how this looks, and it has the same brass backspacer, so you get a little contrast and coloration there. Same hardware and everything. Blade is done the same way, so I have the same blade. You can see the, let's see, let me get it to focus here. There we go. You can see it more towards the tip. So you can see that Sanmai, those 3 layers, and then on this one, the tip is absolutely perfect. Very, very, very nicely done. This will be the giveaway prize. Now, that being said, this is a chunker, so it is a very heavy blade, but it still carries actually pretty well. And we'll talk about that here. So you're looking at, on the brass version here, excuse me, the copper version, it's 7.5 ounces. The standard version is 4.2. So a considerable difference in weight there, but very, very well done blades in general. I am extremely impressed and happy with everything I'm getting from these guys. Their customer service is absolutely amazing. You know, something that I try to do with the companies that I work with is I'll have somebody that's not myself reach out to them with a question or an issue and see how well that is taken care of. And without giving too much away, that was not a problem. So price range, like I said, on these guys, they're all under $100 unless you go to the more expensive ones. Like I said, the Damascus or Zircuitai, whatever options they have. Like I said, they got a ton of them. You're looking at $80 for the standard G10 and then $96 for the copper. I do have a link below with a coupon code, so make sure you use that coupon code. Save yourself 10%. Now for the, like I said, for the gift that these guys gave my wife, they kind of knew what she was into, so they wanted to do something nice for her. So they did send in a prototype for something they were trying to work on. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like this is going to come to fruition. A lot of people probably know why, but I really enjoy how they did this. It does have that kind of that classic look, and my wife absolutely loves it. Again, you still have that same brass backspacer, but the sprinkles here are actually raised, so you can actually feel them. You can't really see the raised part of it so much, but they're definitely tactile, which gives it a really nice feel. And like I said, this one has an incredible action. So again, if you guys haven't checked out North Mountain Blade, their Instagram, everything's going to be down below. And then, of course, like I said, check them out. They do run sales from time to time. And, of course, use my 10% off code to get you 10% off anything on the site. As always, I appreciate you. Please keep on doing what you're doing. We are growing slowly but steadily, and that's kind of how I like it. I don't want to have these big, huge spikes and things like that. I would rather have that natural growth for this channel. It lets me know that the folks that are here are actually engaged, and I can't thank you enough for it. Anyway, as always, please remember to be kind, be humble, and be EDC. Y'all take care.